Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to start with my Tibetan bowl just to set the space a little bit, set the energies. Hello and welcome to this live on the Akashic Records. My name is Meli Guidance, and for those of you who don't know me, because I know I saw a lot of new people on Instagram. We're actually live on Instagram and on YouTube. So I am a past life psychic. I'm also a channeling coach, and I am a certified Akashic Records reader. And my mission is to help people connect with the spirit world, connect with their spirit guides, their past lives, and also connect with their life missions to help them to really be aligned on their path and to develop, grow, expand themselves as much as they can. And I was first a psychic. I'm still a psychic. And I encountered the Akashic Records because I really heard the call and I heed the call. And what happened is that I heard about the Akashic Records and it was vague to me what they were, but I was curious and I bought a book on it. And what happened is that it was during a spiritual awakening moment. And I had a lot of spiritual books, when you're really hungry and you're binging everything, that the podcasts and the YouTube videos, and you have tons of books. So that was me. So what happened is I bought the book and, I put it away, didn't read it for quite a while. And then we went to the countryside. I brought a bunch of books with me. It was amongst the book. And I was meditating and something really weird happened. For the first time, I connected to a tree and then I connected to the gnome, like a lot of gnomes, but there was kind of the boss gnome at the very bottom of the tree in the earth. And if you know me, I really like the element of the earth. My second book is about that subject. It's only in French for the moment, but it's called The Powers of the Earth. I'm into elementals. I have a energy healing with the energy of earth and the gnome. So this was my first time connecting. And in the end, the message was go and read the book. And then I had a flash of the book I had bought a few months ago and that I had brought to the cottage. So I was like, okay, I'm going to read the book. And what happens? I opened the book and there is the author explaining how when she first connected, she connected to a tree and she got the message to connect to the Akashic Records. So I was like, okay, yay, this is me. To make a long story short, I went and did my training, went into an advanced training and became a certified advanced Akashic reader. And I started giving Akashic readings. And this is when things really kicked off for me. People were really curious about it. And then people were asking me, how can I access my Akashic Records? And so I started giving coaching sessions. And then that became my first online course, which is how to read your own Akashic Records, which is available right now. And then today I am launching my level 2 course to get really, really deeper into it and to become yourself an Akashic reader. So the course is called How Read the Akashic Records for Others. And so right now it's today. Today is the launch date, and I am offering a launch promo, of course. So if you're interested, whether in level 1 or level 2, I am offering 50% off with the promo code Akasha. And if you're on YouTube, I just dropped the link there. So, but before going further into that subject of the Akashic Records and everybody's questions, I just want to explain what are the Akashic Records. And I know I touched on that subject like 3 months ago during a live, but since we have a lot of new faces with us today, I wanted to explain again what it is. So the Akashic Records are a vibratory space. And in this energetic space, you can connect to your soul's library, and you can connect to the whole history of your soul since its inception. So since it was birthed through the energy of source, and you were created with your group of soul family members, which I touched on 2 months ago during a live, if you want to go back and check this out. And so you have everything that happened when your soul was created, everything that happens in between lives on the astral plane, when you're with your spirit guides, you go to earth school, every information about your past lives, past life trauma, fears, ancestral patterns, repeated patterns that you have, everything about your karma. Something that I do as well is that I give life plan Akashic readings, and I'm really good at connecting to that place in the astral plane when you make your life plan. And so there you decide for your next incarnation what will be your soul's missions, your soul types, your talents, on which karma you're going to balance, who will be your potential soulmates, because we have many. We don't only have one soulmate. So I touched on that in March's live. And so this is all the information that you can get in the Akashic Records. So as you can see, you get to go really deep in the Akashic Records. There you can meet Ascended Masters like Saint Germain, like Merlin, like Kuan Yin, Buddha, Krishna, Babaji, Ganesh, all Ascended Masters that we are meeting in the level 2 course, by the way. And then you can also access chat with archangels like Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Jophiel, Shamuel, Zadkiel, Uriel. Also, we're looking at them in the level 2 course. And I was listening to a podcast by a fellow Akashic reader, and it's funny, she said, the Akashic Records are not there for people who are going window shopping. So it's not for people who just want, to be very relaxed and say, okay, give me the solution. I don't want to work on myself. I just want the solution. Or people who are very much into divination, and that's fun. Like, I like this too. But I also want to go deep. I kind of like a mix of both. I mainly do go more into divination when I do tarot readings. But when you are in the Akashic Records, it is because you want to do some spiritual development. You want to grow. You want to eliminate blockages. You want to go beyond ancestral patterns, for example. You want to find what is the source of a fear in a past life, for example. So it is really for people who want to go deep. And to connect to the Akashic Records, you don't need to go deep. You need to go high. You need to connect to your soul star chakra. And I did a reel about it, I think a week ago or so. And this is the 8th chakra that is just kind of 6 inches up above the crown chakra. And this chakra is a gateway between your, I don't want to say lower, but your body chakras that you are used to work with, and some upper chakras. And I'm talking about this because the first question that we got is from Whitney, who says that she's been thinking about the soul star chakra, but she's also really curious to know more about the upper chakra. So Whitney, before I go into the upper chakras, I want to say that there is a chakra that isn't super well known that is also important to work on. And maybe I'll talk about it in a level 3 course. I'll talk about this one and all the upper chakras, but it is the higher heart chakra, which is also called the thymus chakra, and it is situated between the heart chakra and between the throat chakra, so right about here. And this chakra is, well, let's just compare heart and higher heart. Let me just check. I'm wondering, is this what it's called in English? It is called the upper heart chakra. Yeah, I knew something was off. It's called the upper heart chakra. So let's compare regular heart chakra and upper heart chakra just to give you an idea. So the heart chakra that you might be very well used to connect to, it connects you to love, but love in a very human, incarnated experience. So that's your relationships, that's also emotions. And this chakra is super important when you want to channel spirit guides, because when you are in energies of love and you open that chakra, love is your, like, it's your fast route to connect with the spirit guides, because it raises your vibrations. For the upper heart chakra, the difference is that it connects you to love that is spiritual, divine, universal experience. So you are more into soul purpose love, compassion, and also how you can be of service at a higher frequency. So when you want to connect with the Akashic Records, this chakra helps very much as well. But your soul star chakra is really the gateway between your usual chakras, and people are used when they channel to open up crown chakra a lot. But when you want to go into the Akashic Records, you need to have super high vibration. So you want to open that soul star chakra. And when it's open, it's a gateway. So unconsciously, you're also connecting to the other upper chakras. And I'm going to tell you what they are. So the ninth chakra, so you go up, 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 and my arm isn't high enough, but you get it, up, up, up. So you have 8 soul star, and then you have 9, the spirit star chakra, and that's all about soul contracts, past life memories, deeper spiritual purpose, which is something that we get into the Akashic Records. So this is why I'm saying soul star chakra is a gateway. It passes all the information. The 10th chakra is the universal chakra. So it's all about expansion into cosmic consciousness, the ability to manifest instantly. So if you're really into manifesting and you're good at raising your vibrations, you need to raise super high, but it can be super quick. The 11th chakra is the galactic chakra, and that's connection to, of course, galactic energies, higher dimensions, starseed, past lives, and divine oneness. And then there is the 12th chakra, which is the divine gateway chakra, and that's all about full alignment with the source, full alignment, and then enlightenment as well, and divine oneness. So there you go. These are all the upper chakras. You also have chakras that are lower than the root chakra, and we might go into these if you're curious and you have questions for me for the next live. I could go into these ones as well if you're curious. So yeah, so there you go, Whitney. Those were the other upper chakras. Now I also, Pierre, are there any questions on Instagram? If you have questions on YouTube, I can see them. Otherwise, my husband is there checking Instagram.
No question.
Okay, good. We have a question from Audrey, and Audrey says, I have a little bit of fear around activating my intuition and opening up my channel. How am I protected in the Akashic Records? Well, first of all, when you learn to connect with the soul star chakra, which I teach in my level 1 course, you're automatically protected by the light of the Akasha. So you are becoming engulfed by this light, and it also it engulfs you from within, and it engulfs your aura as well. So you have that protection. So you're doing that meditation first, and then you recite the access prayer. And in the prayer, there is a protection as well. So when you are in the Akashic Records, it's just love, high energy. I never, ever encountered a bad energy in the Akashic Records. I think you would simply be cut if anything happened, but it just never happened for me. Also, in my courses, Akashic Records or channeling, I teach how to raise your vibrations and really take care of all of this. So yeah, you're protected. And you might be wondering the difference between being a psychic and being an Akashic reader. Because I feel like for a lot of people, being psychic means you're only opening up your channel and channeling spirit guides, which it is. And I think this is what scares people, feeling like there is just me and the spirit world, and I open my channel, and what happens if while it's open, like bad spirits come in? When it's just a channeling session, or for example, when I give tarot readings, they are channeled readings. So what I do before I start the reading, before I press play on the recording, is that I have my incantation where I call in spirit guides, and I also ask for protection. And of course, I meditated beforehand and I raise my vibration. So I'm always protected this way. It never scared me. If you are scared, do not channel, because being scared leads to fear, leads to low energy. And then what happens is that, yes, you might have negative energies or just no connection at all. So just don't do it. The practical thing with the Akashic Records is that you have that Akashic prayer that protects you, and that is a gateway. And when I did my training as an Akashic reader, there were people who were not calling themselves psychics. I believe we all have psychic abilities. It's just a matter of developing them. But they had never properly intentionally channeled. And they all succeeded into opening their Akashic Records and getting messages. The only difference is that because they had never really practiced that connection before, they got smaller messages, or it felt more blurry to them. But when you're used, for example, if you do my channeling course and then you do my Akashic reading course, if you're used to having a conversation with spirit guides, you're used to how do I decode their messages? What are the symbols? What are your clairs also? There's clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairknowing, clairsentience. So if you know how you function, you know, what are your strengths in channeling, well, then you're used to getting messages. So when you get into your Akashic Records, it's way easier. So you do not need per se to consciously go and open the channel. You can just say the Akashic prayer and you will be protected, and you will receive messages in your Akashic Records. So there you go. Okay, so I have a question here from Dev, who's asking, if I write a letter to an Ascended Master or an Archangel, can you read it to them in the Akashic Records? The short answer is yes, but why don't you do it? What I mean by this is that everyone is able to connect to spirit guides, Ascended Masters, Archangels. We can all speak to them, and it's not because they are Ascended Masters or Archangels that we need to be super serious and feel like, oh my God, they're so important. Well, that's our ego part that gets in the way. So if you just want to simply meditate and read a letter to a specific Ascended Master, go ahead. They are always there. They are always listening, even if you don't realize it. The thing is, if you are not a psychic or an Akashic reader, and in your letter there are questions to them and you want to channel answers and you're not really trained or used to do that, then yes, you can give me your letter during an Akashic Records reading, and I can read it word for word and ask the questions. Granted, the questions need to be ethical, of course, and then I can channel the answer for you. So this is all the questions I had beforehand. Pierre, do we have any questions on Instagram? Okay, so if you're watching the replay and you have questions popping up, please send them to me and I can answer them in the next live. Before there's a question.
Question from Ash.
Ash?
He said, I'm trying to be dedicated to meditating daily, to have a spiritual practice and access my records. What tips do you have to overcome this?
Okay, so she's trying to meditate daily and
to have a spiritual practice. And
to have a spiritual practice and what?
To access to my record.
Access to her records. And what's the end of the question?
Any tips to have?
Tips?
To have to overcome this.
To overcome what, Ashley? You feel like you're blocked, like you're not accessing your records? Is that it? Is she still okay? Yes, that's it. Okay. So first of all, Ashley, you're doing exactly what you need to do to be able to connect with the spirit world. It all starts with meditation, with mindfulness, being in the present moment, and also working with your ego. I always say with, and in my channeling course, I have a section about this. I have a module where we learn how to become friends with our ego, because the ego will always whisper thoughts of fears, of discouragement, telling us, oh, you're not capable to do this. You're always the victim. Or sometimes it's the contrary, like, oh, you're the best and they're all stupid. And that lowers our vibrations, and there's a disconnect happening. And sometimes it can be very confusing because you're like, I sense messages, but is it my thoughts, my ego, or my guides? So you're really doing the basis here. Now, if you want to go higher up and into your Akashic Records, I would say try connecting to that soul star chakra. Make sure that your energies are super, super high. Make sure that you have an Akashic prayer that you work with, so that you have the assurance that you're really accessing your Akashic Records. Because if you're having doubt about the process, then it won't work, because, as I said, doubt leads to fear, and then it lowers your vibration, and you get in your head. So this is actually why I made the level 1 course, just to get people comfortable with that process and to give a structure where they feel like, okay, I'm doing things right, I'm protected, I'm really getting into my Akashic Records. And then I would say ask questions and see, do you feel like you get really profound guidance, or is it more surface level? And when you get profound guidance, then you know that you are in your Akashic Records. Also, if you feel presence of higher vibrational beings like ascended masters, archangels, versus day-to-day spirit guides or past loved ones, then you know you are really into your Akashic Records. So there you go. I hope this answers your questions. Pierre, no more messages? Okay. Before I leave you all, I wanted to tell you, if you speak French, I have if you can read French, I have 2 books. My editor is French, is in Paris. So I wanted to tell you, I think you know about this one by now. It's the Akashic Records, and it's a book that goes through the whole process. It resembles a bit to the online course, but in the online course, of course, you get my beautiful face, my energy, my feedback, and all my meditations, my exercises. And I have the powers of the earth. If you're curious, there are 20 earth rituals in it. Plus it goes deep into root chakra, connecting with earth elements, zones of powers, and all of this. If you can read French, this one is just available in Europe for now, but you can pre-order it if you are outside of Europe. And so if you are watching on YouTube, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's going to help the channel get out more so that all souls who feel like they don't have anyone to talk about their connection to the spirit world, they will find a safe space where they can learn more and share with others and with me. And yeah, don't forget, I just launched my level 2 course on the Akashic Records. So right now, 50% off with promo code Akasha for both level 1 and level 2. And yeah, that's it. On that note, I wish you all a very nice day and a very nice weekend. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.